Close-ups show flowers of different shapes and colors blooming in the desert.
Since I became a botanist in the desert, I really appreciate a plant's ability to survive. All it needs is air and water and just a couple of nutrients and it will flourish. And sometimes in Joshua, it wouldn't rain for 2 years and the plant would still come back to life.
A fox tilts its head inquisitively. A title appears. Stay curious.
My name's Mike Bell. I'm a biologist with the National Park Service for the Air Resources Division. My job as a biologist with the Air Resources Division means that I'm looking at the ecological effects of air pollution within our national parks. So I find my job to be important for the parks because a lot of times if you were to go out into the park and say, "Hey park, how you doing?" The park couldn't answer you, couldn't say, "I need a little more water. It's a little dry out here." So what we do as research scientists is we go out and we measure and we monitor things and we look at changes over time. And then we compare these changes to environmental conditions, compare changes from one park to another, let the park answer the question itself by seeing how it's responding to the conditions that are present. My mom is a nature reserve manager in Southern California. She was one of my first kind of science mentors, first bringing us out camping and into the wilderness, then teaching me about restoration and teaching me about how everything's more interconnected than it often appears. After college, I went to Craters of the Moon National Monument for my first job. And Paige Wolkin, the botanist there who was my boss, kind of taught me how the communities developed, the different timing of flowering and seed development. After that, I went to Joshua Tree National Park and worked with Tasha Ledoux, and she kind of took that flame that had been fanned at Craters of the Moon and just made it into like a raging wildflower of plant geekness.
On nature hikes and in classrooms, Mike lectures as he shows students different flowers.
Since I've been a kid, I've always kind of been that adventurer, outdoorsy explorer type of person. Back when I was a kid, I didn't really realize that I could do this stuff for a job. Once I found out that this was an option, it's kind of been full bore ahead since high school of trying to find a way to get paid to be outside and explore and understand the natural world. I think most kids are kind of born curious or born like with that scientific interest of what's this, what's that. Most of them don't have that person to keep them interested in science, to bring them back outside, to continue that exploration. A lot of times it's more, no, don't touch that, no, don't eat that. And it takes a lot to fight back against that when you're a kid. If you want to be a scientist, you don't have to be in a lab, you don't have to wear a lab coat. You can stick your hands in the dirt.
This has been a production of U.S. Department of the Interior, National Park Service, Natural Resource Stewardship and Science, Office of Education and Outreach in association with Colorado State University.